This isn't just another cannabis grow. This is a 100-year-old family farm sitting on top of an ancient glacial riverbed. And everything grown here is destined to become rosin. Generations of soil and water flow have shaped this land into be something unique. And today, we're stepping inside to see how it all comes together just before harvest. And by the end of this video, you'll see some of the most sought-after strains in the entire world, grown in the most sacred part of this farm. A garden once used to feed a family generations ago. Today, it's where the rarest cannabis thrives. From the heritage of this land to the techniques that keep these giants thriving. Welcome to the Flavor Farm. Before we step into the fields, there's a story about this farm that explains why this land is so different. Surrounded by the Manistee National Forest in Michigan's coastal fruit belt, this century-year-old property sits on an ancient glacial riverbed, and the roots of what you're about to see run generations deep.
And my family's had this land since 1919, so my great-grandpa got it, and my grandparents lived here, my dad grew up here, so I'm the fourth generation to own it. I remember working with him in the garden really young, and we'd gather pine needles and bring them back to his vegetable garden and use it as mulch. He was like an organic gardener before that was like a key word. We're on an old glacial riverbed. Where I'm sitting is kind of on a hill, right? And behind us it steps down to a terrace, and then there's another step down behind that. So this is all like the edges of where a glacier would have came through. We're right by the Manistee River. It deposited a bunch of sediment a long time ago when it came through, so the soil composition here is just a little different than other areas. I can't put it into words like exactly what that difference is, but there's one part of our farm here that we call the North Garden, and that's a super special piece of dirt that I grew up working on with my grandpa. So that area was his personal veggie garden for about 60 plus years. He was constantly amending the soil, trying to make it the best he could. And so we get to kind of piggyback on that and continue on, and that the plants that we put down there perform the best out of anywhere else. That garden this year is full of some of the best strains in the world, some of the rarest stuff. So we'll show you guys that stuff at the end of the video when we get down to the North Garden.
And that's the story behind this land. 100 years of soil, water, and family legacy. Now all that tradition meets modern genetics and living soil systems like Synganics, where innovation and nature working together to grow some of the best flowers in the world. 1,500 plants, 27 strains, Skittles field on the left in the lower field, along with a Pheno hunt on the right, all bred in-house. What are we looking at right here? Because I already know with the pink. I see pink hairs across the whole field. You know what strain it is.
Yeah, so this is one of our signatures here. This is the 5th year on running the papaya. Like you said, the hairs give it away with that fuchsia. This thing crushes here. We really doubled down on it. It makes fire rosin.
This is bee sting, and not only is this bee sting, but resin quick on this one.
It's a little brighter here, which I like. It's not as like rotten fruit. We cut it a little bit earlier for that, and that's just the expression we're getting here with this terroir, with the water and the soil.
Yeah, it's so interesting how papaya can be different flavors of papaya from different places, and now you guys have grown it in multiple locations and indoor, outdoor, and you're seeing different variations of the terpene profile.
Yeah, 100%. It's better out here. It's more fruity. It's more like a real papaya.
Really?
Which is what we're after.
Do you think a lot of that has to do with terroir?
I think so. I think it's also just the health of the plant, right? Like out here in the soil, they're getting everything organically from the soil, and then we're adding in some drip on top of that. And that combination, like, I think it's just when the plant is at optimal health, you get the best expression.
So Synganics seems to be the answer.
Synganics is for sure the answer. We've tried, other methods, just running organics in the soil. The plants run short. On nutrient. When they're short on nutrient, they're not at optimal health. You can get more disease that way. The terps aren't as loud. So Synganics seems to be just the right approach for keeping optimal health, which is optimal terpenes.
Yeah, and I mean, what a great place in Michigan. You guys have this unbelievable little piece of land carved out where we're kind of surrounded by what oak trees, or what are they, pine trees?
Yeah, this is all oak and hardwood trees out here. And then we get a little bit of pine as well. Yeah, just really super unique piece of property. It's a giant step. It's like we're growing on one big raised bed. The proximity to the river is great because we're getting that spring water. So it's coming out like, 150 ppm. Basically like bottled water. You really can't ask for more. It's got some good sulfur content to it too, which we all know helps the terps, right?
It's the little things. It's like that, right? It's like the little things I keep hearing about this property where it's like, wow, really low ppms on natural flowing water. Oh, also natural sulfur content. And then you see the success they're having with this synganic approach, and even how this property, like you said, Joe, is in steps. Because you can see above where you were just talking about your interview and we watched you. Now we're down on the main crop field.
Yep. Certain things do better in certain fields. We started to figure that out after 5 years. So the placement of everything is intentional at this point, and we're starting to get dialed.
Yeah, I can tell. Cultivators, under canopy lighting is changing the game, and with that, Pheno under canopy lighting. They're one of our premier sponsors, and it's a brand we truly believe in. If you want to check out phenolighting.com, you can get all the answers to what under canopy is and is how it's changing the game. And guess what? You're family, so we hook you up. The code is FSOTD, and you get hooked up with Pheno Lighting. They put together a full layout of how you would set your facility or grow room up using their under canopy lighting. Whether you're using CMH, double-ended, fluorescents, LEDs, it doesn't matter. Pheno Lighting has you covered. Go to phenolighting.com, use the code FSOTD, get hooked up, and change your grow game. Come on, cultivators.
This is the biggest the plants have got yet, you know, the most stack we've had, and the loudest terp so far, so really happy.
We had to stop here in the field. As we start walking around, I go, hold on. We have to talk about this section right here. We have the Z3s, which, if for everyone listening, is Skittles times Skittles times Skittles.
Yeah.
Then we take a step back and we got the Zazul and Z3 row, which is also, you know, shout out Archive, and we got the Z3, and you can see the Z in her. Then we take another step back, shout out to the homie Faya Farmer. Man, you already know, we go way back. Zangria crushing outside, whole row. Can you talk about some of these finicky genetics, why they're planted here in Michigan in general?
Yeah, so we plant these on the ridge here. This is the most sandy soil on the farm, which we know with Skittles, she's got a sensitive root system. She likes to be able to breathe, so we put her over here for that reason. We can really hit them with the water and get that turnover on the nutrients.
We like to grow them all together too, so if anybody needs different amounts of water, we got shutoffs on every row so we can customize how much they get. So it's like if this one's drinking too much, we can shut it off, or not enough.
So fully zoned out.
Yeah, every row has a shutoff. So the Z, this is painful to grow, right? Like any grower will tell you that it's the most humbling thing. You walk out to the garden, you're like, I did nothing wrong and it looks like shit. And so we put it all in one area for that too. So we have something else to look at over here that's perfect, and then you go over to the Z area and it's like, it's what you expect with Z.
You know what I'm hearing though across so many gardens, and you know us, we tour so many, is that no matter what garden we've been in, whether it's indoor, outdoor, big or small, the same thing we keep learning is Skittles likes aeration. Here's a key tip for you. We've seen it here now with the sandy soil. I see it indoors with a bunch. If you have Z and Z crosses, aerate that soil. That's a huge tip.
100%.
Man, I mean, beasting right here, bro. I gotta ask, what are these?
This right here, this is purple drank, so this is a papaya cross. Thing's a beast out here, dude. It's becoming a staple as the years go on. A little bit late finisher, but that's good, right? Because we can't take everything down at once. Everything's harvested for rosin, so specific process, right? So we got to stage out that harvest, and this thing fits great for late season.
This is all rosin.
All rosin.
Wow, it's hard to wrap my head around as we keep going strain after strain, row after row, to keep telling myself, no, just rosin, all of it.
Yeah, when we started this farm, we've never dried a plant. Every plant here has always been frozen, and that's been the idea from day one. A lot of other people are kind of catching on to that now, which is great, but that's the game plan.
Man, let's keep moving. Wait till you see these other phenos behind you. I personally will say, strain of the year, either this year or next year, the Lance, L-A-N-T-Z, shout out Ridgeline, but what a beast this one is, bro.
Yeah, you can see early finisher. I mean, outdoor dream, crazy for rosin, super crazy terp.
The nose on this one is something special.
It's hard to describe. It's kind of candy, but there's a lot more to it. It's a lot more depth to the flavor.
And there's a whole row of it. Let's stop and talk about that for a second. The people involved in this, just on the genetic side, are some special people.
100%, man. We've all been collecting, our other partner Sky, we've all been collecting since before 2009, and holding down these strains, keeping plants alive for 15, 20 years at this point. It's a labor of love, you know, it really is, man. And a lot of those strains, you can't sell that product right now. Maybe you'll be able to sell it in 5 years, maybe not. Maybe you just like it and you can't get it back, so you hoard it and you keep it. But we've all been collecting and trading genetics forever, and it's a passion project for us, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's success too. Look at this. Look at this. First Smoke family, no matter the guest, you know we're rocking Raw and Elements papers. Whether it's the Elements king size wide, the raw fatties without the crease, so you still get the king size wide, but with unbleached and uncreased. Something we've been loving on the show is the raw king size blacks. And when we're lighting up, the Phoenix. This is awesome. Flintless residue, windscreen with a poker. No matter what products you like from Raw, you can check out genuineraw.com, and that gets you to all their affiliate links to purchase these products direct from them to make sure they're raw authentic. Genuineraw.com, First Smoke of the Day sent you. What are we looking at?
All right, man, this is some Gelinade times Super Boof. So this is something we bred in-house. Basically orange on orange is how I would describe it. You're seeing a ton of the Super Boof vigor here. We're really excited about these crosses, man.
Man, it smells beautiful.
Oh yeah, dude, it's amazing to create your own stuff and see how they come out. These rows are all different phenos, so all from seed in these rows, so every plant's a little different. It's a lot of fun to go plant to plant and pick out which parent is dominant in each particular phenotype. It's a lot of fun, man.
It's crazy that you're also pheno hunting in here. Not only are you running keepers, but that you're also hunting in-house genetics that you guys bred.
Yeah, man, that's the passion project side of it, and it also makes some killer hash, because what we'll do is we'll blend all these together. So if you get a jar of this, you're never gonna get that jar again. These phenos are never gonna be ran in this combination again, and so those jars are really special, man.
Yeah, come on. And then wait, there's a field on the lower side of this that we've been waiting to show you. It's all the special stuff I know you guys are gonna be into. Come on. Pheno after pheno after pheno, and they all look different. These are all what, Gelinade Super Boof?
No, these are Gelinade runts. So we wanted to bring that candy out here. We're super stoked on it. I mean, you can see the phenotypical expression, the difference. I mean, this one, look at the development, right? And then step back here, look how much further along this girl, and she's probably 2 weeks from chop.
Straight candy.
Yeah, it's really nuts, man. And the Gelinade cross is really unique too, because it brings out all the cool things about the mother, and it's like on steroids, right? You run a straight runts cut outside. They're not the easiest thing to do, right? They don't produce. You cross it with the Gelinade, the thing's just a beast. So.
I mean, and this looks literally, if you were to guess, 3-4 weeks above everything else. That's how quick this one's finishing. What's 100%. Interesting is you're finding keepers for next year.
Yeah, 100%, man. The idea with this too is like you don't really get a lot of runts rosin. You don't really see it. And so we're able to put that together out here. Yeah, it's a little twist on it, but most of those crosses, like he was saying with the Gelinade, lean towards the mother. The mother's dominant, so runts in this case. And yeah, it's just really exciting to have a jar of runts rosin in the future.
Oh, it's huge. And then to go Pheno 1, Pheno 300, Pheno 303. I mean, it's crazy how many phenos you're seeing just on this edge right here as we walk this field. Is this all just different phenos as we keep going?
Yeah, these are all different runts phenos here. All the seeds, they're all different phenos. They come out, we plant usually like June 10th. They come out about 6 inches, and this is what they do, 3 months later. Here we are, in September. And you can see the vigor and the growth of the seeds.
The resin. Right? What's interesting is some of them like this, nice size buds, consistent with just resin dripping all the way down them. And then you go to the other ones, bigger buds, more smell, but just variations. All of them candy and all of them super resinous. Jesse, I know it's so special you being here and your family being here for so long. Your connection with these plants, does it feel different with your family? Like when they come up here, what do they think?
Oh yeah, it's been a trip, man. I brought my aunts and uncles out here and they're like, what are you doing? Like it's, not everyone's as familiar with what we're doing as other people are, but yeah, my family's very happy with it. They're just happy to see the land being used, right? Because a lot of property, like a few generations down, it just kind of sits there. People move away, they don't use it, right? So it's been awesome doing it with Joe and our other partners and getting to work together on it, and like coming back here, it just makes it a lot of fun, man. It's cool to show them, they come out and they're like, what is going on? Like it's kind of a big you know, one, they haven't seen a field of weed before, and then two, they're seeing it on property that they're familiar with already. It's kind of blows their mind.
Yeah, it is something special, and you can feel it here. And as the day gets a little bit longer, you can feel the breeze, you can feel it getting cooler, you can feel the shade setting in, and you can realize why these plants would be so happy. Who wouldn't, honestly? Like, it's absolutely gorgeous in this part of Michigan. It really is. And look at, you can tell, look at the vigor. I mean, look at this. Look at even down here, because here's the test, guys. Look at this. Look at the happiness. I mean, that's the test. And so everyone out here is happy, and so guess what? This is also happy. We're here, we made it. The mecca of packaging, Slab Hub Los Angeles. First Smoke family, no matter what your demands and needs are, custom bags, designs, branding, logo, marketing, 3D imagery. Doesn't matter if it's jars or bags, they design everything in-house and produce it right here in Los Angeles. I'm right here on the cutting room floor of Slab Hub LA, where your vision becomes reality. Whether it's custom Mylars, themed packaging, doesn't matter. They've always had me and Pack Gods covered, so they got you covered. Your First Smoke family. So use the code FSOTD and get hooked up. Right here in LA, they're designing the best packaging you've seen around the world. This is where we go. This is where you should go. FSOTD is the code to get you hooked up. Slab Hub to LA.
All right, so this is the North Garden. This is the spot I grew up growing vegetables with my grandpa. This is our favorite plot of land here at the farm. So this soil's been amended organically for about 70 years now, continuously. And yeah, we got some really special stuff down here, man.
Dude, this has got to be probably my favorite part of the entire garden. What strains are in this little patch right here?
So this is 9 rows of original Z, and then 1 row of exotic matter blue yuzu.
Dude, and the nose, like we were just talking, is coming in on these strong. How many more weeks before these get cut down and chopped for straight rosin?
We're looking about 4 weeks for rosin on these.
4 weeks to go, and these ladies are all going straight to be frozen into rosin. And then will this get dropped on the Michigan market?
Yeah, this will all get dropped. These are going to be really limited, so we're going to keep a bunch of it for ourselves and then sell what's left over.
Dude, and as we go row by row, it's really cool to see which ones are doing better in the sunlight, which ones are happier in a little bit of the shade. It reminds me of the plants that are always on the outside of where the light is.
Yeah, sure. They're always darker, a little different looking. Yeah, dude.
And then
100%.
This row is probably my favorite thing Exotic Matter is known for.
Yeah,
this is the
special,
one everyone
man.
talks about.
It's special, man.
The blue yuzu, for everyone asking, man, and does she sit up beautiful on this end row?
100%. So we had to grow a little bit of it. We were going to do all Z down here at one point because it's just such a special rosin. It's hard to argue with, but we're going to drop this at the same time with it. So this is a very Z dominant terp profile, right? It's got rainbow belts in it. It's our own selection from seed, so it's our own Pheno. Nobody else has it or grows it, but we just had to throw 1 row, dude, to see how it goes.
Man, this is beautiful, bro. Absolutely gorgeous. Like,
how's it smelling? I haven't smelled this one yet.
Yeah, the rainbow's coming in on this
it?
one too. Yeah, and it's, man, this one has that little bit of gassiness that the Z lacks.
Yeah.
This has a little bit of that coming.
Shout out to Archive for some of this, stock. I can't remember the rainbow belts cross, but I think it has the Dosido or something back in it, somewhere in the genetics that has that gas.
And this whole row down here is
this whole row is blue yuzu.
Man, all blue yuzu and all proprietary to this garden with 70 years, you said, of amended?
Yeah, at least, if not more. Yep.
One of a kind. If anything we've been to so many farms, this is one of a kind. Yeah. And you can smell the terps now.
Yeah, 100%. Everything down here grows better. So like whatever we put in this garden, we could take anything on the farm, it just performs better. The plants are healthier, the flower smells better. So this is kind of like, it's cliche to say like private reserve or whatever you want to call it. Small batch is all overused words, but like this is that.
Yeah, and we're right on the edge of the forest.
100%. Another raised bed. So like all outside the fence, it drops off like 40, 50 feet. So it drains really well too. Like it's heavy soil, it's been amended a lot, so it's black soil, but it drains really good. It's got a ton of organic matter.
It's interesting because if this was actually the bottom, they probably wouldn't do as well because they'd be sitting at like a wet spot, right? Because man, it's so interesting.
But it's still the bottom, like if you look back up there, it's like low compared to where we were, but it's just like another terrace.
It reminds me of like almost Korean natural farming or some of
how
the
they have
tech
the
where they
rice.
have the,
Yeah, 100%.
Man, let's walk around this end cap. I'm enamored by this row. This is beautiful.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite times of day though. A little later, the sun's moved over, it's coming down nice. This greenhouse behind us is where we start everything for the year, so everything gets started in there before we bring them outside. We're looking at all original Z here. This plant does really well outside for us. A lot easier to grow outside than inside. It's our favorite rosin ever, so we're just really excited to have a jar of it ourselves and get to share it with everybody.
This is what hard work, dedication, and 100-year farm looks like. And when I talk about that, we talk about ancient glacial riverbeds. And this patch behind me, some of the most sought after genetics in the entire world. Doesn't matter, 23 years of growing, the strain right here, it's been one of the things I've been hunting my entire career. And to see it grown outside at this level and to see the rosin that's coming for the legal market, I think this is what every consumer, just like you and me, asks for. High-end, outdoor, sun-grown, not been sprayed late, dedication, and family-driven. What else is cannabis about? First Smoke family, if you want more video, unreleased content, stuff we can't put on YouTube, you want early drops, weeks and weeks in advance, FSOTD.com gets you all that. You become part of the family, you get hooked up with early content, you get unreleased content we can't put out on YouTube because we get age restricted and we get strikes, the whole deal. FSOTD.com gets you hooked up like family. But if you just want to keep watching, here we go. Let's let another one roll.